Right, hi, good afternoon, Dan. Appreciate you coming and joining us again for a quick conversation, and we'll endeavour to try and keep it a bit more concise than the first one that we tried, but we'll keep learning as we go along. But no, I appreciate you taking the time out.
Yeah, not a problem. Good to see you, Craig.
So, a couple of things I want to cover today, but the main thing, Arishka, how is she coming along? How is she?
So she's spent last week on the horse walker, and this week she's trotted, just really to get her moving and get her recovered over this bug. And then she had a physiotherapy treatment this week just to loosen everything off and just keep her moving well. Post race, kind of, look after her a little bit. And the plan is that on Monday she'll start cantering her, and then sort of Monday, Tuesday, we'll scope her and have a look at, hopefully we'll find a clean airway and crack on, and then gradually build up her training and take a look at her weight and sit down and see what sort of targets there are coming forward, and then sort of analyze all of that and come up with the training program to aim for one of them, basically, will be the plan.
So assuming all as well as expected on Monday with the scope, how long do you think before we could expect to realistically see obviously opportunities allowing and all the other caveats we want to put into it, but realistically, how long do you think before we could see her back on the course?
Well, we've had 2 weeks off, so we'd be looking absolute minimum 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks. And, I would say 3 to 6 weeks. That would sort of give us the time frame to find the right opportunity and go from there. That would kind of be the time frame I'd be thinking of.
So that would put her towards the end of March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just roughly.
Yeah.
What is it? It's middle there. Yeah, so roughly say the end of March, which is not a huge amount away from the turf. We're starting to get towards the turf season starting, aren't we?
I mean, I think we have to bear in mind that I think she's probably a filly that wants decent ground, and we haven't had the wettest of winters, but nevertheless, and the turf racing, although the turf racing starts right at the end of March, it's a bit sporadic until really the latter half of April. So I wouldn't be, if the right opportunity is there and the ground's right, that's fine. We'll head for that. But I suspect just the way these things typically pan out, and probably the next start would still be on the all weather would be my thinking. But as I say, without with this setback and everything, without sitting down and looking at the program book, I wouldn't want to commit too much one way or another to anything until we've actually done some proper analysis as to what the opportunities are.
No, that's entirely fair enough. And I mean, how's she seemed since the race? Has she been, how's she been around the yard?
A little bit. I mean, probably a little bit quiet after a race, but then she had, a couple of quick runs. It wouldn't be anything that you would sort of, nothing abnormal. Happy with her, and really, slightly. She had 2 quick runs. Should have had a bit of space anyway after that. So I think, we're happy with her, and really the next sort of week, 10 days, we'll get a really good feel for where we're at. She's not doing enough at the moment for us to really be beating things one way or the other, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And there is next Saturday, being the 23rd of February, there's an opportunity for the owners to come along to the yard and meet yourself and Claire, the rest of the team, and obviously Arishka.
We're looking forward to everyone coming down and meeting a few people and saying hi to a few old faces, and just generally showing people what we've got here at Sarson Farm. It's the first time we've done a crowd racing sort of visit here at Sarson Farm with the horses in here, so it's very different to where we were before. It's a serious facility that we've developed here, and we really encourage people to come down and see what we're doing. It's really close to the gallop, so it makes for a very sort of, nice visit, and you come and see her, and, she should be cantering, and look, depending how that scope comes out, we'll sort of define what kind of work she's doing on that day, and we'll have looked at probably the race program by then and have a few ideas of what we're heading at, and can't guarantee it, but it may well be that she's doing a little piece of work on Saturday, or it might be that, it's not not quite right until the following week, but she'll definitely be doing something interesting. So, there'll be plenty to see there, and it'd be good for everyone to come down and see the filly. And, I think she's developed physically, and often the thing that people who haven't seen a horse for a while, they really notice the difference because, we see it every day and it's gradual increments. Whereas someone who, you look at it every 2 or 3 months, maybe you're seeing a completely, different change, and you'll see a much stronger horse, I think, than probably you saw last time. So, encourage people to come down and spend a bit of time in Lambourne. And, if we have a day like we've had today, we've had an absolutely stunning morning out in the gallops, and, everyone's sort of in good form at the moment. The team are all happy, and, should be a fun morning. And, we look forward to meeting a few people.
Yeah, and by the looks of some of the posts going through on your newly reinvigorated Instagram and Twitter feeds with these artistically and stunning photographs that keep getting taken, it's you seem to have some pretty nice horses around the yard as well. That would just be a nice opportunity for people not only just to see Arishka, but to see some quality race horses.
Yeah, no, and I think it's something where probably our numbers are, not dissimilar to the last couple of years, but we look to have some really exciting horses coming through, and we took our time a bit with some of the sort of more middle distance, later developing types last year, and weren't really in a particular rush with anything. And I think we've got some nice unraced 3-year-olds to come through, and a couple of horses that maybe ran once or twice, and even we've got a horse involved who I think is quite a nice horse going forward, who's only had sort of 4 or 5 runs. He won in his 3rd start, and then he's had 4 starts. So he won his 3rd start, and then first time out in a handicap the other day ran a decent race. So there's some interesting horses for people to come down and look at, and Outrage will probably be about. He's a decent sprinter going, sort of knocking on the door. Whether he'd end up in something like the All-Weather Championship final, not quite sure, but he's not very far away from that kind of level. He was 4th in a qualifier the other day. So, there's some interesting horses for people to see, and get a bit of insight maybe into some of the horses that are in the yard that maybe the general public wouldn't have seen so much of. So, and we're always happy to sort of chat to people about things and have a look at a few different horses. So, no, it should be an interesting morning.
No, we're hoping to get a nice crowd. Pardon the pun. I suppose it fits, doesn't it? But we're hoping to get a nice crowd. No, it's what we're going to do. Planning to do in the early part of next week, if when we get it scheduled, is a few other topics that I think is worth having a bit of a chat about and going over in a sort of broader sort of remit. But for today, Dan, I think that's great. Unless there's anything you want to add in, anything that you feel's missed?
No, not really. I mean, I think if anyone thinking coming down who's not quite sure, or maybe they want to make a weekend of it or anything like that, there's plenty of nice places to stay around about, and if you want to do something afterwards, there's plenty of nice places to go for lunch. I mean, we'll give you something. We'll give you a bit of food when you come and visit. But as I say, if anyone's got any sort of real specific questions, feel free to get in touch with Craig, and I'm happy to pass on the information that's required. Wants a recommendation of somewhere to stay or anything like that.
Brilliant. I'll make sure I mention that in the newsletter as well. So, appreciate your time as always, Dan, and I look forward to the next chat.
Yeah, catch you soon.